please tell us all what is your name?
Hi, my name is Caitlin.
Did you enjoy the dessert, Caitlin?
Well, I thought the cannoli was a little bit sweet.
What? No. As much as I would like to shoot her for saying such things about cannolis. The cannolis were perfect! It certainly doesn't help your case. However, let's move on. What were you doing when the lights went down?
I was sitting right there.
Just sitting, nothing else?
No.
Right. Now, I said before we had our dessert break for all of you to stay put in the front row. You weren't there. What happened to you?
Maybe you just didn't see me.
Wendell sees everything. I don't have a trick.
Never wrong.
I'd like to ask you one more important question. I heard the lights went out. About how long would you say the lights were out and then the altar was shut in the meantime?
Well, I guess I'd say about 5 seconds.
Does anyone here disagree with this? Anyone?
5 seconds, exactly.
All right, 5 seconds.
Yeah, 5 seconds sounds okay.
All right then. So if I were you and I wanted to murder my favorite author, I'd only have 5 seconds to shoot her, run up on stage, plant the gun on that purse over there, and then scurry on over to your seat. 5 seconds. Let's try something, shall we? I'm going to sit in your seat with your friend over here, and you're going to give me the cue in a little hypothetical scenario, all right? And you tell me when the lights go out. Don't see you. You have enough time. Tell me when the lights go out.
Right now.
1,002, 1,000 bang, 1,004, 1,000 lights. 1,000. Aha. 5,000. Now try doing that in the dark when you find it near impossible. Thank you very much, young lady. I'm sorry for bothering you so much. You can sit down. Were you listening at all? She's the one person in the room we know can kill the author, and we don't have to shoot her. I appreciate your enthusiasm. Sorry. Apology accepted. All right then. Now that I feel you've all been safely absolved of suspicion, I think you can each be of useful assistance to me. My last sidekick, Philip Sanderford, died in the theater, actually. Plane landed right on his head. It's quite ironic, actually. Plane landed on his head in the middle of a plane. But that's utterly ridiculous and totally besides the point. For the time being, I need somebody that I can bounce ideas on. Somebody who asks the kinds of questions that Wendell here doesn't think of. Someone who has the other piece to this puzzle of blood. Right now, that person is each and every one of you. So let's be civilized about this, all right? If you have an inquiry for one of our suspects up here, raise your hand. We're going to take questions by groups. We're going to start off with the girls. You can ask questions for Carrie and Mindy and Jessica, all the rest of them. Come on up.
Actually, it's Anna, Kate, Sarah Stugger, Bridget, and Ginger Snaps.
Like that? Yes, come on, please.
Shotgun, no pun intended.
All right, come on then. Questions here with 5 fangirls. Please, let's not let them get off easy. Anyone here? Anyone can ask a question? Anyone? Yes, we're going to start off with Anne. Miss Dwyer said you were the #2 fan page of the Midnight series. Perhaps you murdered her because you're not #1.
Yes, that's a very good reason. However, Sherry really doesn't know anything about the internet and websites, so like her rankings kind of really don't matter, you know, like she doesn't really know all the work put into it. You know, I programmed all those games, and Fangbook has like so many cool features that she doesn't even comprehend all like my HTML that I put in, and you know, all this stuff. I'm really like a tech nerd kind of girl. You have no idea. It's like a little hidden trait of mine. If any guys are like into that stuff, like, talk to me after. Like no, like I wouldn't kill her because I didn't really hold it against her. I really, the resentment was against Love Blood. You know, stupid site. It doesn't have anything. It's so stupid. No, it's stupid. It's like you're never gonna find a mate on Love Blood. You know, I saw some pretty cute boys out here though. There's this guy Danny back there. I don't know where he is. Danny, where'd you go?
Talk to Danny afterwards. Now please, let's have a few more questions here. Come on now. Anyone? Anyone at all? Yes, you here in the blue. Because of your charity money, it went to Miss Dwyer's children's college fund. Perhaps you harbor some resentment towards her?
Well, not at all, of course, because she's Sherry Dwyer. But in all fairness, our second choice for a charity was for underprivileged children to go to college, preferably some in another country. But I mean, she said it herself, she used to live in a one-story home that's pretty underprivileged. So, I mean, at least we helped someone go to college. It wasn't the ideal kids we wanted to help, but it was someone. That's all that matters. I just want to help people. So, and I did.
Do you have any other questions here? Please, please, don't be afraid. Yes, you there?
The cheerleader, are you mad because she took your dance and gave it to them?
Are you mad because the author stole your dance and gave it to some pop stars?
Well, I am mad because, I mean, I should be getting paid for that because she actually ended up making money off of that somehow. I'm not really sure how. Something about copyrights, whatever. But, I mean, everyone still likes the dance, and deep down, I know that I created it and it's a true work of art. So, that's enough for me. It actually is.
There you have it. She's proud of her work, no matter whether she gets paid for it or not. Any other questions here? Yes, you there in the pigtails, yes? Yes, you.
Girl, you. You said you like to finger paint, and I make really good finger painting. So do we have a play date next week?
The question is, would you like to have a finger painting play date with this young girl over here?
Absolutely. That's Hannah, right? Hi, Hannah. I would love to finger paint. What colors do you like using usually?
Purple's my favorite color.
Purple? Okay, well I actually hate the color purple, but we can use the color like blue. I love the color blue.
Okay, let's go come out.
Okay. Sorry.
Let's have a few more relevant questions here. Anyone? Yes, question here.
This is just like real blood.
This is shocking. You're telling me here this is the most beautiful young lady I've ever seen in a long time. Do you think she's a man? Please, are you Miss Dwyer's ex-lover?
Listen, I know my breasts are still developing. I'm only 16, okay? You know, I'm getting there, alright? And you know, that was really hurtful. I just want you to know that was really hurtful? Do you know that was really hurtful? Okay. So let it be known. That was hurtful. I am not Sherry's ex-lover. It was
Take the microphone!
All right, please, can we get another question or two here? Yes, in the back.
I have a question for the beautiful blonde in the middle. Beautiful. Beautiful blonde. I don't care. I think it's beautiful nonetheless. You and Bridget don't seem to like one another. It's probably because you're Team George and Team Mitchell, and I understand. But isn't it possible that she's been so mean to you that you tried to get back at her by killing Sherry because you're crazy because you're a Mitchell fan? You think? Maybe?
Did you frame Bridget over here because you don't like her?
No, I mean, Bridget's not worth the trouble. I mean, all the thinking to Bridget to put a gun in her bag, like, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, Bridget's so dumb, like, why would she even think of a plan to kill Sherry? Honestly, I think Bridget's the most innocent person here besides me, like, because she has no capability of her brain to shoot a gun and hide it. Like, the brain cells don't exist. I found that out. I asked her the question, y'all, because like Team George girls, like it's proven. I did a poll on Bangbook. They're dumb. They're dumb, and so like they don't have the capability. It's not me. It's not Bridget.
Take the microphone.
Let's not say anything hurtful, Anna. Yes? Alright, can we get another question here? One more? Yes, you here. Yes, this is interesting. What was each of you doing when the lights went down? And please be specific. Let's start here with Miss Ginger.
Okay. When the lights went out, I saw this as the perfect opportunity to be able to just go up to my favorite author, Sherry Dwyer, and not be intimidated by that really mean punch. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You said no touching! Well, anyway, when the lights went out, I thought that I could at least, like, just touch her in some way. I love Sherry. I didn't do it. I would never.
Well, first I saw it as a golden opportunity to go up to Sherry and actually touch her. And then I heard a gunshot. It was like really scary. So I started running around and looking for clues because then I thought, hey, maybe I can put this on my college application and solve Sherry Dwyer's murder or whoever's murder it was. And then when that was working out, I went and tried to make out with Dante. And he's not really talking to me, so that didn't really work.
Is this true, Dante? Did this girl try to make out with you? And?
Yes. During the dark, I tried. Explanation. I tried to disarm the guy with the jacket and the weird shirt.
All right. Now let's have questions for these three individuals here. Come on now. You have questions? Anyone have? Yes, you sir in the gray shirt. You know, this is an interesting point. I think it could be insightful here. Tell us, how did you lose your left eye?
Well, it's a bit of an involved story. Dates back many years ago. When I was a young man, about 17. I just started my monster hunting. I tracked a vampire all the way to Siberia. One frigid night, the hunt was going poorly, so I stopped at a nearby village. They let me spend the night. But the man in the house, he went crazy. He tried to mug me. And well, I took care of him, that's for sure. But in the meanwhile, this little girl, she saw the fight. She jumped on my back. And she grabbed something, I don't know, maybe a soup spoon. And she jammed it in my eye. I twisted and I turned, but she wouldn't let go. Finally, the eye came falling out of my head. Hit the wall, rolled under my foot, and splash! No more eye.
Well, there you have it. Do we have any other questions here? You, sir, in the blue?
This question is also for the Empire Hunter. I'm a junior in college, and I'm graduating soon. I was wondering if you need a sidekick?
This young gentleman needs some post-graduation plans. Will you accept him as your assistant?
What's your major? Sounds pretty good. Get a black wardrobe. Come talk to me.
All right, always happy to help. But yes, you here, if you have a question. This young lady very insightfully points out that you do seem to be getting less and less intelligent as the night goes on. Perhaps there is a chance that you murdered the author and then forgot about it?
That was very mean.
I hate being questioned.
Me too. But Punch is forgetful, but only with little things. Like sometimes when Punch is going to feed his dog, he forgets he doesn't have a dog. And sometimes when Punch is sitting down, he gets tired and he tries to sit down again. But he's already sitting, so it doesn't work.
I think that's convincing enough. Any more questions here? Yes, you, sir.
Punching bag. I'm rock runner. It seemed to work out a lot. That's it. Thank you.
All right. Just a compliment, was it? Oh, do you have a response? Yes. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
All right. Do you have any other questions here? Please. Yes, you, sir. Yes, this individual points out a lot of good things. You do seem to be throwing your guns about. A true bodyguard would know better than that. Perhaps you are just an imposter. Instead, you are a murderer. Please respond to this.
Punch took 2 semesters worth of bodyguard classes at Mercer Community and learned there that always show people how many guns you have so they know not to try to attack you. The end.
Good job, Punch. All right, please. Do you have any other questions? Yes, you, sir. How do you feel about this as a studier of supernaturals? Do you have any strong opinions about the mixing of vampire and Please, I'm not sure I understand the question, but I'd like to respond.
I am a very open-minded person who believes that probably the most beautiful and wonderful, smart, funny, intelligent things in life are half of something and half of something else. So I think that, the idea of mixing, species and possibly races
Punch is half Italian and half Polish. These are pretty funny.
There's no doubting any of those things. Here's the question here. Yes, you said.
This is a question for Punch. You have a very interesting name, Punch Rockford. Where did it come from?
I do think this is an interesting question. You have an odd name. Please, what are the origins of it?
It doesn't sound Italian or Polish.
Background is Polish. And Punch's daddy's name was Punch, and Punch's granddad's name was Punch, and Punch's granddad's dad's name was Punch, and Punch's granddad's name was Punch.
Take the mic!
Punch's granddad's dad was Punch.
I think we can guess the rest. Yes, a question from the red. Yes.
This is for Punch. How many guns did you bring into this bookstore, and are they all accounted for?
You have a lot of guns. How many did you start with, and how many do you have at the moment? What?
You're holding.
Sure.
These two I brought with me, and this one I stole.
Ready?
So yes.
Alright, can we get another question? Anyone? Yes. One more question here, shall we? Yes, you sir. Now this man does point out something quite interesting. Sometimes when an author dies, their book sales go through the roof. Perhaps you did this just to make more money in your bookstore. Is this true?
That is true. Obviously, you can already see there are so many fans here tonight, and her books already do so well. In fact, when her books come out is when I do best on sales. And I don't think that I really needed to. I was planning a budget around her coming here today. With the idea that a lot of people would be buying her books anyway. And in fact, if anything, everybody to buy a copy. So,
Now I have something I'd like to ask. We asked it of all the other individuals up here, and it's Just go right down the line and say specifically, with as much detail as you can, what you were doing when the lights went out and Miss Dwyer was shot. Starting with Mr. Weston.
Well, I wasn't even here.
Where were you?
I was getting some food.
Anything in particular you remember?
Soup. What?
Eating soup.
Punch isn't sure how this relates, but his favorite soup is tomato.
What were you doing when the lights went out? What were you doing? I'll start it off. Punch was.
Punch was asleep. Punch got hit and was knocked out.
Obviously, I knew when the lights went out, Trillian had a stupid grasp, and I was trying to edge my way over and save Sherry and be the hero of the day. But of course, it always crowding her and getting in the way, and I couldn't get to her until I heard the gunshot and I freaked out. Obviously, everyone freaked out when the gun went off, and then ran down and
Right then. I think we've had enough questioning for now. I have a few follow-up questions of my own, if you can all return to your original seats. Thank you very much, everyone, for your questions. They were quite insightful and gave me quite a lot to ponder about. But before that,
I'd like to move on. Now, Mr. Potter. Somebody mentioned that you were a music.
I practiced fist golf, yes.
Perhaps this belongs to you then. I found it near the body.
I never seen it before in my life.
Bold proclamation coming from the only wizard in the room.
I mark all my spells with the seal of Rathbone. That sigil is not your own.
Interesting. Now, could you explain to those of us here that aren't as supernaturally savvy as you and I are, what it is exactly that I handed you?
It's a hex pen. Looks more like a stack of death bags. These herbs are wrong. If that's what it is, it's meant to ensure that the dead don't try again.
See, considering that some of the ingredients are not exactly up to par, would it have any effect on the body it was found near?
Not at all. Well, this particular combination was just one to try out. I would do it on this wire.
See,
Honestly, though, seems like the intention was to prevent us from returning to this world with God.
all right. Come back to you in a moment. Mr. Trillion, what I'd like to ask you is, are you ashamed of who you are?
Of course not.
So you wouldn't mind if I revealed one of the biggest mysteries of the evening, then? Reveal your true identity. Just don't understand. Don't understand what? That you're a fairy?
Wait, so this guy is a fairy? Like he has his fairy wings and magic fairy dust and goes around the world spreading love and magic and glitter and love and magic and glitter?
See, this is what I get from everyone. You get a few fairies that are into tie-dye and free love, and suddenly we're all tree huggers. What you don't understand is the earth used to belong to us fairies.
You feel quite passionately about this?
Of course, being a fairy used to be honorable and respectable. Now it's an insult and a joke. Of course I'm passionate about it.
Passionate enough to murder an innocent author in the dark?
Of course not.
Look at things from my point of view for a moment. Books and movies and the like turn fairies from a proud race to an academic joke. So, Now, not only is the same thing being done to vampires, but one of the primary insults to them is calling them big. Now, did that not seem like a
Just what you know about it. I don't want to spill blood or anything.
Wait, do you really have that fairy dust?
No. We become fairy dust when we die. Tinkerbell? Tinkerbell is our alpha. Only a few select fairies have met him. Yeah. It's not pocket-sized either. Disney got more wrong than right on that.
No way. What's next? You need art really cool when my can't actually walk?
No, they don't.
All right. Let's move on. Nice time to ask some questions about the sun.
Wait. What about Santa?
Never you mind that, spitting it out.
Lunch wants to know.
Just tell you, mate. All right. Now, you almost actually almost did. What are you doing that on purpose? Oh no, that comes quite naturally. But you, on the other hand, are the only one here who tried so hard to get at you. Kill the woman in cold blood.
I don't have to try to have that attitude. I've killed more people than you've ever even met.
I doubt that. I speak it.
I have been walking this earth for over 1,000 years. I've killed people over a dozen lifetimes.
Well, maybe, actually, that was what people think you are. You're not like that anymore. You wouldn't be with these two over here, a heartless killing machine. You wouldn't have any friends.
Who says they're my friends? Maybe I'm just using them for my own gain.
Truly wanted it. Everyone in this room would be dead at your hand. You're with them so that you stay in check, so that you don't lose control.
Get off my back!
Perhaps that's not as all.
You're not gonna take you for a moment.
Shut up!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that I am but one important question away from knowing absolutely, positively, without a doubt, the identity of the murderer of your home. This question. Sam Paternostro, did you indeed win the Midnight Madness VIP contest that would allow you a place here on the stage tonight?
Well, I'm sitting here, aren't I?
I'm up on the stage as well, yet I didn't win any contests.
Wizard!
No, I didn't win any contest. Precisely.
Wait. I don't get it.
These three seemingly won the same contest that the other five of you won. However, considering that none of them participated in the same contest, they must have quote-unquote won by all means. Here's what happened. These three have been protesting this book release for weeks now. The killer saw this as a perfect opportunity. These three so-called monsters crashed the event. Apparently, with that describe, they obviously were the only suspects in the murder. In case something went wrong, the gun was planted in this young first. Other killers as well, as that, meant to frame the wizard. Now, as such, there's only one person in this room who has the capability to bring in all the supernaturals. Knowledge and covering up faces, throw suspicion everywhere but on themselves. If that person quite naturally being
Sarah, Anna, vampire hunt fairy, lizard.
Well, these stupid girls, Sherry, Bridget, Dennis.
The bodyguard!
Santa!
Now The event coordinator, Miss Jenn Pattinson.
Jenn Pattinson, get it right. It was me. Nobody move or I'll stake him.
All right, calm down.
Lady, get the hell off of me!
Why would you do that? Why would you kill her? Don't you understand? You and all of you love midnight. Millions of people read the books and speak dozens of languages. There are movies and toys and lunchboxes. Oh, I have one of those. Exactly. It's not just that either. There are pencil cases, binders, journals, and everything. There are tours in the town that midnight supposedly takes place in. Photo sales are through the roof. I needed to get in on that.
So you murdered a novel because people like her work.
No, I murdered her. So this place would become great. I murdered her so thousands of people from everywhere would come here and say, this is where it happened. My book sales would be tremendous. People would know my books and know me all because of one tiny little death. Even death is important. You're crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm important!
Right. Well, now you get to be important behind the cause of your death.
Don't you come with me! No! They would have gone and waited to do it wasn't for you to know! I fucking know!
Dante, are you all right?
I'm fine! Well, I'm certainly glad that you're all right. That you were able to get through the night, but that's another... Anyways, I best be going. My work here is done.
Oh, well, thanks. Then I'm quite sure I don't make all the police.
Wait,
Yes?
I just want to say thanks. You see, I was actually thinking about getting Jenn's book, and if it weren't for you, I probably would have bought it. So, thanks.
You're quite welcome, young lady.
Bye, detective!
Bye, girls.
See, Doctor, what do you do? I said before, evil monster. I'm sorry. I mean, that girl, she was crazy. Maybe something different that makes you evil. Look, as long as you don't kill anyone else, I won't have to kill you. Excuse me.
Auntie, that was so great.
Yeah, wait, yourself.
I have no idea what you're trying to get at.
You know, my dear.
You can let me out.
It's for mine time.
You can have us all at the same time if that's what you want.
You can show us your wings.
I bet they're
Look. As tempting as all that is, I'm afraid you're all too fragile. I would do something. Listen, I'm sorry about the whole knocking you off here. Maybe I can make it up to you sometime. Buy you a beer?
Here?
Sure, we can start there.
Well, I don't know about that other stuff, but beer sounds fine.
Wonderful. I know this great place called Fantasia. Ladies. There's more than one supernatural lover here tonight. To go, right?
You were kind of think about it.
Mary.
Yeah. Very outside.
Well, then, shall we? I know this great
take place with a large, leopard-spotted, rotating bed and a disco ball hanging from the ceiling.
God, I love retro.
Let's go.
Hold on, my dad's outside. Here's my consent form.
Well, that ended sort of quick. Yeah, I suppose it did. And what a way to end it, too. Yeah, I suppose it is. I believe that girl did all that. People do crazy things. Yeah. Do you think that fairy will be able to handle all those girls? I don't think I want to do it. Do you think that vamp and that bodyguard are You think we should? I think. Right. Oh, good idea.